needed for this project. You need 26 pieces of 3 mm gray pearls. This is the one. You need 2 pieces of 8 mm pearls. You will also need 26 pieces of 3 mm round crystals, 2 grams of Japanese seed bead, 26 pieces of bugle beads measuring 5 mm in length, and 2.5 bugle beads. You would need 26 pieces of them. To make earring, you would need 2 jump ring and 2 earring hook. For this project, you would need to prepare a nylon thread measuring about 150 centimeter. And what you do to begin with the project is to fold the thread into half, and at the end of the thread you need to insert needles at both ends, leaving about 1.5 inch of thread behind the needle. Pick up 1 big bugle bead, 1 small bugle bead, followed by 1 big bugle bead on your right thread. Pull it to the middle. Alright, so just to repeat. First step, you need to thread in 1 big bugle bead, 1 small bugle bead, and 1 big bugle bead. Pull it to the middle of the thread. Then you will need to cross the left thread into the last bead on your right thread. So this is the last bead. I'm using the needle from the left thread. Cross it over by placing it through the hole from the opposite direction. Alright, and I pull the thread. So you would form a triangle unit. So this is the first unit, and you need to do this. You need to have 13 units all together to form a flower petal. I'm now going to make the second unit. The second unit, you would place in a small bugle bead followed by a big bugle bead on your right thread. Pull it down, and you would need to pass the left thread into the last bead from your right thread. So pull the thread, and now you have the second unit formed. Repeat the step for the second unit for 10 times. I have just completed 12 units here. To complete the petal, let me show you how to make the 13th unit. Place in the small bugle on your right thread. Pull it down. You are going to form a circle by connecting one end to another end. So I'm going to cross my right needle into the big bugle bead from the opposite direction, this way. Before I pull the thread for the right thread, I'm going to place the thread from the left into the same bugle bead from the opposite direction also. I mean, so one is going this way and one is going upward. Pull the thread. Okay, once you pull the thread taut, you will see a nice circle form has the base for the petal. Once you have completed with the base, you are ready to put up other beads on top of the layer and on top of the base to form the flower petal. Using your right thread, insert 2 seed beads, 1 gray pearl and 1 bicon crystal. Pull it down. Now we are going to cross the left thread into the last bicon crystal here from the right thread by inserting the needle from the opposite direction. Pull the thread down. So pull the thread taut so you can see the pattern easier. Okay, once you are done with this, insert the left thread over here. Insert the needle into the bugle beads next to the first bugle beads where the thread was from. It should be directly below the top layer, the top beads that you have just laid down. So this is the one. Insert the needle, pull the thread, alright. Now the right thread, which is over here, the right thread here, you have one thread up here, which I'm going to call it left thread, and the thread here I'm going to call it right thread. I'm going to insert 2 seed beads. Okay, so once I have the 2 seed beads on the right thread, insert the right thread into the same bugle beads just now to cross it with the thread from the opposite direction. So as you can see, I have the first unit formed here. You need to repeat this step for the rest of the triangle units. So there are altogether 13 of them. Insert 2 seed bead, 1 pearl bead, and 1 bicon crystal on your right, pull it down, so as you can see on your right, I have 2 seed bead, 1 pearl bead, 1 bicon crystal, and so now cross the left thread into the last bead from the right thread. So I'm placing in the needle from top to bottom, pull the thread, and now the thread on your left, insert it into the bugle bead next to it or below it, below the top layer, which is this. And with my right thread now, I'm going to insert 2 seed bead, and I'm going to cross my right thread into the bugle bead, the same bugle bead that I just used, from the opposite direction to form a cross. Don't worry if you do not see a nice shape now. You will need to do a few more to see the beads organized nicely on top of the base. Continue to do this for the next. Now I'm going to work on the final unit. On the right thread, so I'm working on the final unit. So as you can see here, this is the final unit. I need to lay the beads on top of this triangle. So on my right thread, insert 2 seed bead, 1 gray pearl and 1 beacons, and cross the last bead with the thread from the left. Okay, so I just lay down the beads on top. Now remember to cross the left thread into the big bugle beads here. All right, and on the right thread below, insert 2 seed bead, and cross the needle into the same bugle beads. Okay, I just managed to insert the thread into the bugle beads. So now I have all 13 units done up. You can now turn it around this way. Bring your thread up, and now let's insert the 8 mm glass pearl here. And pass the needle into the bugle beads from the opposite direction. So I have just placed the 8 mm glass pearl at the middle or at the center of the flower. So now I'm going to add seed beads in between the small bugle beads. So to do so, pass the needle into the next small bugle bead. Add a seed bead and pass your needle into the next bugle bead. Okay, so as you can see, I have added a seed bead in between the two small bugle beads. Continue the process until you fill up all the gap. I've just completed by adding additional seed beads in between the small bugle beads. So now, with the remaining thread, you can pass this thread around the earring to make it more secure. To end, you can tie a knot here. Tie a small knot here and pass your thread to a few more beads and cut off the remaining thread. Cut off excess thread. Now, let's get ready to put up ear wire to complete the earring. So now I'm placing a jump ring by inserting the jump ring into one of the bugle bead located at the back of the earring. And now I'll proceed to put a ear wire here, and let's close the jump ring with the help of your pliers. Okay, I've just completed with one side of the earring. Complete the whole entire earring making process to do up another side of the earring, then you will have one pair. I hope you enjoy watching the video and do subscribe to my channel.